Live from the KHOU 11 studios and streaming on KHOU 11 Plus, your news starts now.
Good evening to you. I'm Cheryl Mercedes. Thanks for joining us. Well, it's been a roller coaster week of weather across the Houston area. Storms, high winds, and loud thunder. And now we're tracking yet another round moving in tomorrow. Meteorologist Pat Cavlin joining us now. And Pat, fill us in.
Yeah, so we are going to be tracking some pretty big storms getting into tomorrow. It's an isolated chance, so I don't want to overblow this, and I don't want you to cancel plans for tomorrow. But definitely, as we get into the afternoon hours, you'll want to keep an eye to the sky, because if we can get a storm going here tomorrow, again, between, let's say, about 2 and 6 p.m., I think that's a sweet spot. That's where we could run the risk of maybe seeing some very large hail across the area. Beautiful afternoon, though, for us today. We made it all the way up to about 90 degrees this afternoon, temperature-wise, so pretty much where we should be for this time of year. There you go, 90 degrees, right on target. That happened at about 2:30 this afternoon, and our morning temperature was at 75 degrees, so certainly still running warmer than where we should be for those overnight lows, but nowhere near the record. All right, numbers right now across the area still in the upper 80s for both airports, or at least Hobby's in the mid 80s right now. Sugar Land at 87, Brenham 85, Palacios at 84. Rest of the state, not too bad. I mean, it's pretty hot out towards the high plains. Lubbock at 97 right now, but everybody else pretty typical numbers for this time of year in the mid to upper 80s. Satellite and Ritter is quiet right now as well. We had a couple of small downpours kind of blow up here across southwestern portions of Matagorda County. That's about it, though. Across the rest of the state, a couple showers across the hill country, but really it's a very quiet picture. So normal temperatures, quiet weather. So what's the catch? Well, as we switch over to water vapor satellite, notice this little swirl here in the atmosphere, and it's diving south. This is what we're going to be watching, that feature, as we get into tomorrow, because I think that is the feature that could bring us a storm chance heading into tomorrow afternoon. So we have issued a weather impact alert. And again, we're not trying to blow this out of proportion, but if a storm can develop, it could get pretty serious in a hurry. So the timing on this, if we give you like kind of a broad umbrella, it's 12 to 8. I think for the city of Houston, though, that timeline is much tighter, probably in the 2 to 6 p.m. range. And the threats with any storms that develop will be large, damaging hail and also the potential for some gusty winds. Bottom line, have a way to get warnings, and also make sure that you know where your car could go in case a hailstorm approaches your home, your apartment. Make sure that you find a spot to put your car indoors getting into tomorrow afternoon and evening. Rain chances look like this. The morning hours are dry. I would say, again, from noon onward is when the rain chances really start to peak up. I think peaking sometime in the late afternoon, the mid to late afternoon hours. And then getting into the evening around sunset is when our severe storm risk should start to diminish. So here it is. This cluster of storms will come out of North Texas during the overnight and into tomorrow morning. By 2 p.m., it's probably only going to be maybe 1, 2, or 3 cells that we watch coming in from the north that will be on the strong to severe side. But again, these storms will pack a punch. So first areas to deal with it will be up towards Livingston, Huntsville, and then eventually down towards Conroe, the Woodlands, and then into the city of Houston, probably ballpark around 4 o'clock in the afternoon. Timing isn't perfect on these models, so give or take a couple of hours, but it does look like an afternoon to evening event for us. And then that'll eventually push down towards our coastal areas around 6, 7, and 8 o'clock before we start to turn a lot quieter getting into the evening hours. The severe threat looks like this for Sunday. That big yellow area here with these black dashed marks, that indicates the most significant spot that we could see, strong severe thunderstorms for Sunday afternoon. That does extend into extreme northern Harris County, but it includes pretty much all of Montgomery County, Grimes, Walker, Polk, San Jacinto counties, and even a pretty good portion of Washington County as well. So this is where we could see wind damage and also a very large hail threat. I could see a world where they pull this a little farther south and maybe even a little farther to the west as well. We'll have to obviously see, keep an eye on this as it updates getting into the overnight and tomorrow. But bottom line, everyone should be on their guard for this severe potential tomorrow, because the main driver of this severe threat is the risk for very large hail. I mean, we could see in that hashed area spots that get over hail that exceeds 2 inches in diameter. Again, not a slam dunk forecast, but these storms will be an environment so conducive to large hail that we could see those stones getting up to that size. So the severe threat breaks down like this. Hail is the primary culprit. Wind damage would be the secondary. The tornado threat's not zero, but it is very, very low. It really have to take a special set of circumstances for a tornado threat to materialize tomorrow. And then same deal with flooding, because these storms are going to be pretty isolated and fast moving. So for the overnight, it's partly cloudy, it's warm, it's muggy. Temperatures drop to the mid 70s. Here comes our little storm system for tomorrow. It'll be morning sunshine. That'll help to heat the atmosphere up. And if we get into the 90s, I think these severe storms will be all but a guarantee, depending on exactly where they set up. And then for the day on Monday, I think it's a pretty nice day. Mainly sunny, hot and muggy. Maybe just a 10% chance for a stray shower, but all in all, it's a pretty, it's a pretty quiet start to the upcoming week. It's really just Sunday that we'll have to keep a really close eye on here across the area. Rain chances look like this. We go from a 60% chance tomorrow to only 0% chances for Monday and Tuesday. So again, a dry start to the week, and then maybe just some isolated potential as we get into Wednesday and Thursday. So for the overnight, 74 degrees, partly cloudy skies. We get you into Sunday. There's that afternoon severe thunderstorm risk, 93 or high temperatures. So again, a lot of energy for those storms to work off of if they end up making it in our area. So we do have that weather impact alert in effect for tomorrow. Monday, we get to 94 with sunshine. We may drop into the low 90s for Tuesday, but still a dry day, and then just isolated chances for Wednesday and Thursday. Notice by the end of the week, Friday into Saturday, Cheryl, some hazy sunshine. That could be our first little batch of Saharan dust moving in from the Atlantic. That'll help to keep things pretty quiet, but also very hot as we get into next weekend.
97. All right,
Yeah.
We'll be ready for it. Thanks,
It's
Pat.
June.
This evening, Houston police say the man accused in a deadly shooting on a Metro bus is locked up. We've been telling you about the search for 22-year-old Carltonio Jackson, who is charged with murder. The shooting happened last week on West Belford after police say Jackson and the victim, Philip Ojimwe, got into a fight on the bus. His bond is set at $200,000, and he's due back in court on Monday. In Galveston, a man is dead after authorities say he took his own life following a police chase, which happened after he allegedly killed 2 people. It started around 11:30 last night when deputies responded to reports of a shooting at a home on Kirkpatrick Road. When they got there, they found a man and a woman dead outside. A witness told investigators there was an argument between 2 men and a woman, then shots were fired. The suspect took off in a white car. Shortly after, deputies in Chambers County saw a vehicle matching that description on the I-10 service road near College Street in Beaumont. They say the driver refused to stop, barricaded himself inside the vehicle, and eventually took his own life. Right now, investigators are still trying to find out what led to the initial argument. This evening, a Northwest Harris County family wants answers after their 36-year-old son was found shot dead outside of their home. It happened early this morning on Sonnet Glen Lane and Spencer Road. Deputies say the victim's parents were inside when they heard the gunshots. When they went outside to check things out, they found their son shot on the ground. The sheriff's office says witnesses reported seeing a red car speeding away after the shooting. Right now, investigators are still trying to figure out who pulled the trigger and why. A man is in critical condition in the hospital after being shot by a deputy following a police chase in Montgomery County. The sheriff's office reports deputies tried to stop the driver on the I-45 in the Woodlands, but he took off. Shenandoah police deployed fire deflation devices, bringing the car to a stop on the FM 1488 on-ramp. Deputies say the driver got out with a gun, prompting them to open fire. He was taken to the hospital. No one else was hurt. Overnight in Northwest Houston, a high-speed chase ended when a stolen car crashed into a home. This was around 2 a.m. on Cotton Drive, right off 290. Officers say they were tracking a stolen vehicle when they attempted a pit maneuver. We're told the driver lost control and slammed into a house, hitting a man who was inside.
Thankfully, the victim is in stable condition. He was in his bed at the time when the crash occurred, or when the suspect crashed into the house.
That man was taken to the hospital and is expected to be okay. The driver was arrested. Lawmakers also passed the state's $338 billion budget, which includes a teacher pay raise, a cut to property taxes, and shores up water infrastructure. The budget now goes to the state controller, who is expected to verify there is enough money to cover all of the legislature's spending. That's the final step before it goes to Governor Abbott's desk. We're less than 24 hours away from the start of hurricane season, and right now, leaders from around Harris County are joining forces to help make sure you and your family start preparing now. Commissioner Leslie Briones says the county is stockpiling food and water and plans on hosting 11 hurricane preparedness workshops. Community centers also have backup generators, some donated by CenterPoint. The county is also making sure that nursing homes are following a new fire code rule which requires them to have generators.
So I literally pray every single day that this will not be the hurricane season that the experts are predicting. But know that if it is, that here, our local government, here in Harris County, we're here prepared, ready, and we will be as responsive as possible to keep us all safe.
Now is the time to review your family's hurricane plan. Test your generators, check your insurance, and make sure that you have supplies on hand. Another important thing to check, those trees outside. The last thing you want is a falling branch or worse, a tree trunk damaging your home or property. Here are some signs your tree might need to come down. If it has deep cracks, leans toward a structure, shows visible decay, or is losing a lot of leaves, well, it could be a hazard. In some cases, trimming the canopy may be enough, but when in doubt, experts say it's always best to call a professional. Our goal is to help you stay prepared this hurricane season. The KHOU 11 Hurricane Preparedness Guide is now available. It's packed with important information to help keep you and your family safe. To get it, just scan the QR code right there on your screen or text the word weather to 713-526-1111.
3, 2, 1, ignition. Liftoff. Space Shepard has cleared the tower.
A Houston area teacher took the ride of a lifetime. Amy Medina Jorge, a STEM teacher at Odyssey Academy in Galveston, and the rest of the New Shepard crew blasted off from Launch Site 1 in West Texas just after 8:30 this morning. After the capsule separated from the booster, the crew experienced a few minutes of weightlessness. The entire flight lasted about 10 minutes. The reusable booster successfully landed, and a few minutes later, the capsule parachuted to the ground. After exiting, Jorge talked about the honor and responsibility of taking the flight to inspire future scientists.
Esto demuestra que nosotros los latinos también podemos hacer los sueños una realidad. Si convertimos nuestros sueños en una meta y alcanzamos la meta trabajando duro, créanme que vale la pena. Sí se puede, no se rindan.
Jorge also said she was ready to go back in and do it all over again. Her seat was sponsored by Farmacias Similares, a Mexican company committed to social impact and accessible health care across Latin America. Empowering small businesses was the goal today at the Power to Pitch competition hosted by Stimulating Success. The event gave underrepresented small business owners a chance to pitch their ideas for micro grants and mentorship. 8 finalists presented their businesses to Houston area leaders, from selling handmade products to teaching business acumen and launching innovative solutions. While money is on the line, these folks say it's more about just the prize.
Entrepreneurs' support is very important, right? You need to have a network of people that can help you, mentor you, connect with you, help you along your journey. It helps you gain confidence. As entrepreneurs, we're constantly thrown different battles each and every day. And when you come into spaces where you can showcase your product, get those cheers, get those enthusiastic claps, it really keeps you going and it keeps you motivated.
3 winners will be selected with a top micro grant of $2,500 plus 6 months of technical support to help their business grow. How about that? And just like small businesses, nonprofits also play a critical role in our community. Join our news partners at the Houston Business Journal for the State of Giving in Nonprofits next Thursday, June 5th at 3 p.m. near the Galleria. Learn more at KHOU.com. This week, Elon Musk said goodbye to his role as a special advisor to the Department of Government Efficiency. Now, this comes as the president shares a pair of major announcements involving the steel industry. Christian Benavides has more.
Thank you, Elon.
Thank you.
Take care of yourself.
Thank you.
Elon Musk may be leaving the White House, but the bromance between the president and the billionaire will remain. Trump left the door open for his senior advisor to continue to play a role in politics at an Oval Office send-off on Friday.
Many of the Doge people, Elon, are staying behind, too, so they're not leaving. And Elon's really not leaving. He's going to be back and forth, I think. I have a feeling.
Musk initially predicted Doge could cut $2 trillion from the federal budget, yet the agency fell far short.
In terms of an FY25 to FY26 delta, are over 160 billion, and that's climbing. We expect that number will probably go over 200 billion soon.
Musk's exit comes after he criticized Trump's policies. In an interview airing this weekend on CBS's Sunday Morning, he says he was disappointed in the president's spending bill that economists say could increase the deficit.
You know, it's not like I agree with everything the administration does. So it's like I agree with much of what the administration does, but we have differences of opinion.
Also on Friday, the president announced a deal allowing Japan's Nippon Steel to buy U.S. steel, a move he says that could save tens of thousands of jobs nationwide.
We're here today to celebrate a blockbuster agreement that will ensure this storied American company stays an American company.
The president also announced plans to double tariffs on imported steel in a move he says that is intended to secure the U.S. steel industry. Christian Benavides, CBS News.
Taking a look at some of today's other top stories. Houston police have released new images of the suspects wanted in a violent game room robbery that happened back in February. It took place on Garland Drive, just south of Griggs Road. New surveillance video shows 2 of the 4 suspects inside the business. During the robbery, one of them got into a struggle with the security guard and shot them in the arm. A pregnant clerk was also held at gunpoint. The suspects then used a truck to rob about 10 gambling machines and demanded cash from a safe. If you recognize anyone in this video here or have any information, call Crime Stoppers. DJ Daniel, the Pearland boy who captured hearts across the country after being sworn in as an honorary U.S. Secret Service agent by President Donald Trump, is now facing a new battle in his health. His father confirms that DJ has been diagnosed with 3 new tumors. DJ is already bravely fighting brain and spinal cancer. Now support is pouring in from the White House, Governor Greg Abbott, and the Secret Service as the community rallies around the 13-year-old boy. DJ's courage continues to inspire all who know his story. And in Washington, it's a story you'll have to see to believe. A semi-truck carrying 70,000 pounds of pollinating bees, overturned, releasing an estimated 250 million bees into the wild. CNN captured footage of the angry swarm on the loose while bee catchers worked tirelessly to round them up, and experts say, well, it could take days to safely capture all of them. Where is David Paul when you need him? He knows how to handle those bees. He was a beekeeper, so.
I forgot about that. Yeah, he used to he kept bees for a long time.
Yes, he sure did.
He'd always bring us fresh honey too.
Yeah.
Nice.
Oh yes. There's still some back there.
Yeah, nice during allergy season too, because it was always like local. I mean, literally
raw
from
honey.
His bees. Yeah. So.
That's great. All right, let's talk about this weather we've got coming tomorrow.
Tomorrow it'll be stormy. Yeah, it's not going to be for. I don't think it'll be for everyone, and the models are having a kind of a tough time pinpointing if the worst of it will be here or if it will be just to our west. I don't want to take that chance though, so I'm giving everyone a heads up here. Just look, prepare for the worst, hope for the best. Hopefully we don't get any big hailstorms down here, but it's a possibility.
Yeah.
Good news though, Monday, Tuesday are quiet. It'll be hot, but it will be quiet, and then maybe just isolated storm chances Wednesday, Thursday. Things really start to heat up, though, as we get into the middle of the month. We could see temperatures flirting with triple digits again by the second week of June.
Yep, summer is upon us.
Yeah, first day of June tomorrow and first day of hurricane season
Can't believe it. Yeah, thanks so much, Pat. Thank you for joining us for this digital newscast at 6. We'll have more coming up on TV at 10 tonight. But hey, you can stream us anytime on KHOU 11 Plus. Just download on your TV and watch for free. Good evening.